Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our last scheduled meeting of the Board of Supervisors for 2024. First item is approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve. Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes of December 10, 2024 board meeting.
Move to approve. Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Website update from Brian McMillan with Neapolitan Labs. Mr. McMillan?
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
If we can figure it out, I do have a few slides I can share with you all. There we go. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, and certainly feel free to, hurry along if you think I'm going too slowly, or slow down if you think we're going too quickly. But in talking to Kelly, I just want to kind of give a little bit of a status update on where we're at with the Wapello County website. This, of course, is a screenshot of the homepage, which features the rotating video selection along with quick links that can be defined over time if there are things that need to be changed or adjusted here. Looking at kind of a few things I just wanted to highlight today. I wanted to look at the, kind of history and working with you guys in the background of our project. A few of the key website features that are out there that I think in a lot of cases you're doing a great job of utilizing. A quick overview of Midship Lab, which is our tool for managing site content, and it could be a good opportunity to do some refresher training. I know Kelly had mentioned there will be a change in kind of the IT side of things. So certainly if we need to do some additional or new training, happy to do that. A quick analytics review to let you know what the traffic to the website looks like. And then a few opportunities, some things we've done with other county government clients to maybe put on your radar. So kind of our background, we worked with Kelly first in April of 2020. So Neapolitan Labs, my business, has been around for a long time, but we really got into the county government world in 2019, working with Pottawatomie County to build an election specific website. And that product that we offered for elections started to gain a lot of traction, especially as we got into the COVID times in March 2020, where it was hard to, come to the courthouse, or things were closed, or people didn't want to be in person. So we worked with many auditors, including Kelly, to build standalone election websites that had everything from sample ballots to precincts to, how to vote early, to results on election night, to directories of elected officials. I think that was a big thing in just getting out township officials and supervisors and, the ag extension, and even down to the city council level and school board level. So that's kind of our background there. In fall of 2021, we'd also worked with Kelly to put together a proposal to redo the overall Wapello County website to make it responsive for mobile devices, to just kind of improve the user experience and hopefully improve the ability for department heads and officials and staff to make updates. We did in-person meetings kind of in the spring of 2022, once that was approved. And then in May, we launched the website, which is still out there today. Some of the big things that the website, has capabilities for is departments can have the capability to go in and update their own content, and it should be presented in a consistent way. We want the landing page experience, whether you go to the sheriff's office or the treasurer's office or the auditor's office, to be consistent. We do have capabilities for alerts on the website. Agendas and minutes, I think, are in a very consistent fashion there, where you have a column of agendas, a column of minutes, and then, of course, the column of videos that people can watch as well. Search has been a key feature of, our websites, and just making sure on the homepage you can go in here and start typing a topic like birth records and immediately click through and get to the page that has that information. So that's something that we built for other counties and wanted to make sure we had as part of Wapello. And then when we launched the website, we licensed some videos. So when you get to the landing page, you see some different drone type footage of scenes from the county. So certainly those are things that could be updated. I think the videos there are the same as they were originally, and those are all things that you can do as part of your annual fee. There's no additional cost if you submit to us new video content you'd like to put in place there. The back end of the website looks a lot like this. I think there's somewhere around a dozen users in Wapello County who have access to get in and make changes to their departments, or a few cases, the overall website. And it's all very modular driven. So it's really built for county governments. That tool that we use, Neapolitan Labs, we kind of continued the ice cream theme, and we made Midship Lab be our platform. And we wanted that to be something that people can log into from any device, go through and post an agenda or update an alert on their webpage. I noticed right now there's alerts on the treasurer's office page about, office closures. There's a date or some details on deadlines for, DNR renewals on the recorder's office. So I think there's, certainly always up-to-date information on the board. It looked like all the, county officials and current commissions and board members seem up to date there. So there's a lot of tools we've built in that should give departments the ability to make changes on their own. Kind of looking through this list, I also like to highlight that it is a responsive system. So if you ever had a situation where there's a ton of snow on the ground and the courthouse isn't opening till 10 a.m., you wouldn't have to fire up a computer. You could log in a chip lab from any device and make that update. Any questions to this point?
Nope.
Okay. Just some year-to-date data. So if I pulled the numbers basically as of yesterday from January 1st to December 17th. So essentially we have most of a year worth of data, about 68,000 different users to the Wapello County website, 135,000 website visits, and about 236,000 pages viewed. So down to the individual page level, average time on site is about 3 minutes. This is just the standard website traffic. The election website traffic has its own set of data. And I would say the standard website traffic is much more consistent throughout the year. The election website traffic, you see huge spikes kind of leading up to the primary this year, leading up to the general. I think there's a special election or maybe multiple in the county this year. So you always see some kind of spikes there. That traffic tends to have a little lower baseline, but kind of record upside when you get to those big election events. When you think about how users are consuming the site, basically exactly 2/3 of the visits are coming directly from mobile devices. So a lot of people are loading the site on their phone. I think when you saw that early screenshot, that was really important. We built the site to make sure that it worked well on phones. Then another 32% from desktop. And people may still own and use iPads from time to time, but the data would show they're not necessarily spending their time on the iPad looking at the Wapello County website. Ottumwa, probably not surprisingly, is far and away the top kind of city that traffic's credited to, but Des Moines, Oskaloosa, Fairfield, Bloomfield are among top out of market cities for traffic. So you do get some out of county traffic. I guess that could also be residents who are traveling to those places and wanting to check in on things. Traffic sources, a ton of the traffic comes from Google. I think that's a good story to feel confident that people are able to find content they're looking for. So they search, Wapello County Treasurer, Wapello County Elections, or Wapello County Board. They're able to get to the site. We get a lot of traffic from Google. That's about 3 times or almost 4 times the amount of traffic of people just typing in wapellocounty.org. And then you kind of go down the list. There's Bing, there's Yahoo. About 500 people came from Facebook. That doesn't necessarily mean there's an official Facebook page that posted it. It could have been a resident of the community who linked to a news story or a property tax page or a jail page or anything on the website could be posted from Facebook. Facebook can be kind of a beast. I wouldn't necessarily, endorse doing this, but we do have some county clients who, stand up kind of an official Facebook page for their county. And then you see that being more of a source of traffic. But the nice thing about the website is if you post it there, people can find it there, and you don't have issues of people not having Facebook accounts or having to log in or, making your content in some ways maybe more difficult to find. Top pages. So far and away, the number 1 page on the site, and really the number 1 and 2 pages, are related to jail and inmates. So there's a lot of people going to the Wapello County site to see the inmate roster, to find sheriff or jail information. Almost 92,000 or 93,000 combined page views of those top 2 pages. There's actually more people probably searching Wapello County inmates, Wapello County jail, and getting to the jail site than there are people going to the homepage, wapellocounty.org. Then you go down the list, there's property tax, there's treasurer's office, motor vehicle, and you just kind of keep going down. And really there's a huge cluster of departmental pages that are kind of between that, 5 and 7,000 or 4 and 7,000 page views kind of year to date. So you do the math, maybe 500 people a month reading topics like, the recorder's office or vital records or property tax or motor vehicle renewal, those types of topics. Opportunities you have. I think by and large, it feels like departments are doing a great job of updating, their website sections. But, one thing I do notice is when you go to the homepage, we don't have a lot of news beyond job openings, and we don't have a lot of calendar items. So there are capabilities to add calendar items if you just wanted to go in and say, once you determine your meeting schedule for 2025, just get the Board of Supervisors kind of meetings ahead of things on the calendar. Conservation has the ability to add events. Now they're in probably an off season right now, but that could be something if there are events that they hold and want to post it there. So that would be one thing when I look compared to our other county clients. I think your homepage might have a little bit less, but once people search and find the content or clearly go directly to the content, they're getting it there. Then we start to get into just some kind of upgrade type things, which again, nothing I think here is an urgent thing to do, but some things to consider as you're looking at budgets. You're kind of also thinking about what maybe your colleagues again across the state are doing. More and more of our recent clients have gone to the online application for employment. I believe right now it's still kind of a paper process in Wapello County. I did pull up an example from Jackson County, which is a site that we just launched within the last couple of months. And they have this process where users can go through and basically complete that employment application online. It gets routed to the hiring manager for that position, who can then review the resumes, review the submissions in Midship Lab, and just kind of go through the process that way. So that's been a popular thing, fairly nominal cost, but something that some counties have found beneficial. Another thing we've done more with, and Wapello County having a decent number of employees, there could be some value here, is kind of putting together employee portals. So on the city side of things in Sioux City, we created them an employee portal where employees can go in and get IT help. They can look at human resources content. If there's wellness or safety programs, those are linked there. Payroll forms are linked here. So this is kind of behind password protected situation. Obviously, I don't work for Sioux City, but they have given me a login to help support the site. But I can go in here and read a number of things about retirement plans and benefits. So probably nothing that certainly you have to implement tomorrow. But if you're thinking about if there is an opportunity to make distribution of some of that employee specific content easier, that would be something to consider as an employee portal. The one date that I want to put in your head, and we'll be doing some communication to our county clients about this at the start of 2025, is there are some new federal accessibility website requirements that will be enforced starting in April of 2027 for communities or counties of 50,000 population or less, which I believe includes Wapello. We built your site in a way that I think checked 95% of those accessibility boxes when we built it, but this was not something that was a requirement at the time. And while we wanted the site to be very user-friendly, we didn't necessarily get down the rabbit hole of looking into all the details that come with accessibility. So one example is these guidelines are looking at the ratio of contrast between colors. And it's possible, I didn't do the research before this call, I guess I could have, that the blue on the blue background is not quite enough contrast to meet the requirements. So at some point, I'll take a look at your site and communicate with Kelly early in 2025. I think it's something that would take just a small fix, or it's something that would be a little bit more involved, but we certainly want to work with you to make sure you meet those requirements. And then the final thing a few of our counties have done is if you on the board or anybody else in the county is interested, we have taken some of those data points that I shared with you and put together a monthly report that can be emailed just to get a sense of here's website traffic, here's where people came from, here's what devices they used, here are the pages they looked at. So that's something that we could set up as well. So a few ideas there. Otherwise, that's, kind of covers what I had. My contact information's here. Kelly can certainly help connect you with me as well. We always are at the state events, so we'll have a booth at ISAC in March and ISAC in August, and probably the Supervisors event in Des Moines in January and on down the road. So you can definitely find us. We love working with counties. We appreciate your business and think by and large the site's performed pretty well for you over the last 2+ years.
Questions for Brian?
I'm fine. Anybody? Thank you very much for this.
Yeah, appreciate the time. Thanks for having me on. I will stop sharing the screen.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right, moving on. Reappointment of Lloyd Keith and Kim Brown to the Board of Health. We have written confirmation of them wanting to be back on.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? ITC Midwest LLC voluntary easement. Brian?
Yes, the utility company came to us and requested an additional width on the easement that they currently have. So this is just expanding what they have in existence already. And we negotiated several things on the contract that they proposed, including matching up to the exact habitat that is there. And Scott, with our attorney's office, had some recommendations. So those were incorporated into the agreement. They sent that back to us, and we're now ready to accept it. And I'll make the motion to approve.
That was out at Sycamore Road, and what was the other place?
Yeah, it's near Chillicothe. It's right away along a secondary road.
I'll second the motion.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 6, Resolution 59, 2024, Head Regional Housing Trust Fund, FY 25-26. This is a yearly per capita allocation put into this fund. I will say Wapello County's probably capitalized more out of this fund than a lot of other counties in the state. What it does, it helps save houses. It helps save neighborhoods in certain instances. There's a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of, there's stipulations with it as far as income guidelines, what the house is assessed at, different things like that. So it's a revolving trust fund is what it is. So people get up to $12,000. They can replace roofs, central air units, furnaces, windows, siding. So it takes a house that could be in total disrepair and possibly to be placarded and save that for the person to stay in the house, and again then helps in the revitalization of some of the neighborhoods. So it's something that's kind of fell off a little bit here in the last couple of years, but it is there as an avenue when someone is in drastic need of something. So I think it's what did I see?
$7,087.
7,000 in that one. Okay.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 58, 2024 Regional Planning Affiliation RPA FY 25-26. This is more or less a state required for transportation planning in the state, and this is just a little over $3,400. In this, if you don't have this, you don't get any type of transportation grant funding.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 57, 2024, Area 15, Regional Planning Commission FY 25-26. This is 54 cents per capita, and this is required by state code that all counties have a regional, have a planning commission, more or less. So,
And I might comment on all three of these. I serve on the board of all three of these. And sometime in the new year, I'm going to attempt to get a little more of a presentation from them to the board about what they do. And I'll make the motion to approve the resolution 57.
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of heating units up to $29,286 for final allocation of ARPA funds. I think this is something me and Kelly's kind of went back and forth on for the last few days to try to make sure that we don't lose any type of ARPA funding. Everything has to be allocated by December 31st of this year, and then projects have to be complete by 26 or into 26. But so $29,286. Yeah, you say whatever you want.
Well, after I decide to start reaching out to the agenda and get some figures and we'll probably have a little bit more than that. So if you could maybe just approve without the dollar amount just to extend, because I suppose that I got through the units, I added a couple more and it was like $2,000. because I think with the units that we still have left over, we could experiment and to, you know, they were gonna replace the door
Mhm.
down.
The door in the magistrate's office.
With when, I mean, I think that was part of the window competition, and they decided not to do it. So I think I can squeeze that in to get that door replaced within the scope of what we have left over to spend on the windows, plus the extra money that we don't spend. And then if we have something that goes over that, then we can just do the remainder ahead out of the cost of that. I feel like with that door, replacing the units, I think that'll pretty much take up what we have left.
So amend it to use the
Approval of
funds.
heating units for final allocation ARPA funds.
Yeah, and also, because we have to have a memorandum of understanding with Excel, that's one thing that's required since we have to obligate it before December 31st. So just, in your proposal, just approve the chair to sign the memorandum of understanding that I'll just.
Who made the motion originally?
We
No
have,
one
we
had.
have
Okay. Anything else, Kelly, on that? Okay. So I need a motion to approve purchase of heating units for final to use up final allocation of ARPA funds, and approve the chair to sign MOU before December 31.
motion to approve that.
Second.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? While we're on the ARPA funds and the end of that, I had Kelly pull up everything that we had used the ARPA funds for, and I think it's important for people to touch on it again and where that money went. We got a little over $6.7 million, and so some small things like touchless water faucets at Public Health for $3,452. We purchased a car for the nurses to haul the COVID-19 vaccine around to different places. We purchased a freezer because the vaccines had to be kept at a very low temperature. And then we've done some things like the heat pumps in the courthouse for $36,900. Digitization is in Lisa's office that they'll take us away from paper and allow things to be more easily accessible and last forever, more or less. We contributed to the Ottumwa Library for digitization of newspapers. So I think the newspapers now are up to, I believe, 1990 in the digitization side of it. So you can go to the library and punch in certain things, keywords, and I think for people researching genealogy or just our past history, I think that's a great thing. The conservation campground, a bigger project, but $600,000, and that was a match with the Destination Iowa grant. So to more than double the size of the campground at county conservation, add a playground, a shower house, a dump site. Big one we talked about a couple weeks ago is broadband. We put $1.575 million into broadband that, as we've seen on the maps a couple weeks ago, will put Wapello County at about a 90% completion of fiber ran through the county. Central Square in the sheriff's office, which was a joint effort with the city on that. That was $179,169. Kelly touched on the window project there just a minute ago. I think that's going to end up coming in, Kelly, what'd we say with everything else, about 1.3 something?
No,
1.7.
it's
So you were wrong. Okay. Way to end the year. You just stop. Just stop. So 1.7 million, and that's a project right there that Mallory, you can sit for a few more minutes. You're fine. Um, you look at the windows in the courthouse, and those are things that none of us wanted to go through COVID, and I don't think there's a single person that wants to go through it again at all. But it allowed us to get some things done and accomplished with some money that kind of, I hate saying came out of thin air because it is all our money. But there's no way we could have done this window project without bonding, and that's a burden right on the back of the taxpayers. And the biggest thing that we contributed to, and this is something that I'm most proud of, is the Southeast Iowa Sports Center that's due to open February 1st. I think with what we do up here, what the city council does, there's not many projects that we do that doesn't have some type of negativity along with it. I'm going to say right now, when I ran for city council in 2009, we talked, and I've been involved for the last 15 years, even the few years I was out of office, serving on Parks Commission or different commissions. And we want to talk and we want to brag, or we want to talk about things we want to do as far as quality of life or economic development or whatever it is. You got to invest. And it's things like this that we invest in that does spur growth in hotel industry. One of the biggest things, and Mayor Lazio sat there can tell you, places to eat in Ottumwa. Why can't we get this? Why can't we get that? Business has got to have a reason to come here. And I'm going to say this project, I will say, in my 15 years of being involved in this community, has been the most positive project out in the community, and the people genuinely interested. And I'm going to tell you, if they don't like it, they're going to tell you they don't like it. Or if they have questions, they're not shy about it. And not too often do we get a project like this that I do believe has brought a lot of our community, a lot of our county, and a lot of our region together. And that's something, again, that I'm the most proud of. We would never be in this spot if it wasn't for these ARPA funds with it. For this board that's seen the foresight in the project to invest in it. Destination Iowa money that came in, JBS, Legacy Foundation, and hundreds of private donations and businesses in the community that see the value in it. This is a quality of life thing. In 2009, when I ran, the people back there was, now you were older than that, 4, 2, and 1. And I said then, I do this for them. And there's a lot of time when you do this job in anything with it. And again, anyone that's done it knows there's a lot of times you're home and you're still not home because it's snowing or snow's coming or it's raining. And what the hell's the road's going to be like? What calls are we going to get? A lot of things you can't control, but you care, and you do it because you care. I care about Wapello County. I care about Ottumwa. As I said, from people I talked to, I'm still going to be involved. I'm still going to be around, but we've done some really good things up here. I feel I've done them all for the right reasons. Is there things we change? Absolutely. There's new things that come in all the time. And so I appreciate the citizens of Wapello County, the citizens of Ottumwa, putting me on this path 15 years ago. I've learned a ton. And Carrie, I think the biggest thing I'll say, and I know you've been involved with like Eldon and stuff, is you say so many times in a year, I've seen it all, and then you haven't because there's something else with it. And you know, I think it's the right time for me to move on. I'm excited about what my future holds with some things. I may even try to run a bar again. I was pretty good at that for a while. I liked it, but you know, this board's going to have some challenges next month, and there's nothing that you can do about it until the state gets their shit in gear and starts listening to local authorities, cities, and counties. I gave these guys a copy of the paper, Carrie a copy of the paper a couple weeks ago, where the representatives and the senators, well, everything we heard going door to door is property taxes. Well, no shit. Who likes to pay property taxes? Nobody. But I'll guarantee you, if you really sit down with people, there's a lot bigger issues in this community and across the state of Iowa other than property taxes. Insurance costs are killing us right now in businesses, in municipalities, in counties, in our homes. There's those things like that that I urge the state to stop picking on something they know nothing about. The cuts to the school districts and the different things that they're doing. Get out of the state house and truly listen to the people. We were in a meeting. I'm about done rambling. We were in a meeting here a while back, and a state rep made a comment about discretionary funds, and I about lost it. I about came out of my chair because there's no such thing. There's no such thing anymore as discretionary funds. Our discretionary funds were ARPA funds, somewhat of our local option tax funds, and those are the things that truly make a difference. And that's all the money we have anymore. I joke when I say we're broke. We gave some nice raises and we done some things that we should have done to help our employees. The chickens are coming home to roost. Jerry said it for years and he was never taken serious. If the state don't do something different, because your property tax levy in Wapello County is going to go down again. You're going to have less money to fulfill those obligations that are already under contract next year. Our carryover balances are done. We have enough to cover us for the first 3 months of the year. They've done what they wanted to do. They're breaking the counties. Unless you are Polk County or Lynn County or Blackhawk or one of those, you're broke. There's going to be some tough things. I feel for you guys that having to do it because no decision you make is going to be the right decision. But it's definitely one that I'll say thanks for making me not be here to do it. So, to the citizens of Wapello County, City of Ottumwa, the employees of Wapello County, my family especially, thank you guys for the last 8 years in the county, 4 years in city council. I look forward to working with a lot of you all in different phases and different projects around our area. So that's really all I have to say. So,
Brian, you do have some guests here today. Could you introduce those guests to us?
yeah,
I would appreciate that.
my wife Jill, my oldest Mallory's 19. She's a sophomore at Wartburg, and like I said, when I started this, she was at Pickwick School, not the new Pickwick School, the old Pickwick School. Nellie's a senior in high school. Regardless what she tells you, it's not an open lunch. And Charlie is a sophomore at Ottumwa, and as the girls will tell you, he's my pride and joy. He's
one can't do no wrong.
he can do no wrong. But no, like I said, I started it to do it for them. I wanted them to have a place to be proud of, and I've done the best I could. So thank you. With that, is there anything from anyone out there? Perfect. Anyone out there? Yes. Thank you.
And I have a comment too. And thank you to all the family members of Brian for what you've put up with.
I'm not easy sometimes.
Well, I know. And thank you, Brian, for your service. I appreciate the model of leadership that you have given to all of us. And I think we need to encourage young people to take a look at your track record and what you've accomplished and model that. So that's a good model. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've appreciated your experience. We've relied on you several times to know what is the right thing to do. And I appreciate that. And you still have a voice in this county and with this Board of Supervisors.
Thank you.
I assure you of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can assure you, we need you up front and center now. I'm serious.
Oh, okay.
And I think you need to make this motion.
So with that, for the final time, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.